and it's indeed my pleasure to be in your company again as we bring you another exciting edition of Talking Parish League, where we look back at the whole historical purview, and we have a very special guest in house today, and he's going to enunciate his past journey coming through cricket. And when I came into the studio, I heard him talking about the steel pan and all sorts of different avenues. And so we're going to have a very interesting hour and a half or so as we discuss with our guests here. But before we go any further, let us recognize our sponsors, the Antigua Commercial Bank, our platinum sponsor, the Antigua Commercial Bank. 43 years and counting supporting Parish League cricket, and we're eternally grateful to the folks there at the Antigua Commercial Bank for their continued support. So we want to encourage you, for all of your financial banking needs, be sure to check them right there at the Antigua Commercial Bank, and just let them know that the folks from the Antigua Parish League sent you on down there. Also, we want to recognize Brands for Less. That's Carol and her team right there at the top of High Street, just opposite the old Deluxe cinema there. You could go there, get all of your clothing, sanitizing, electronics, everything. If you want some nice, gentlemen, if you want some nice sexy lingerie for your female, right there's a good place to go right there. I've seen them there, very exciting. Mark, stop smiling, but you could be sure to check them out right there. And also we want to recognize Digicel, the Bigger Better Network, for their continued support of the Antigua Parish League circuit, and for all of your internet data needs, be sure to check them out. For the best drinking water on the island, it's Blue Mountain Water. Blue Mountain Water can be had in a variety of sizes from mega distributors right there on the American Road. And the most tasty, refreshing juice on the island, it's Pinehill. Pinehill Juice. Be sure to check them there at Hutchinson Wholesale on the Sir Sidney Walling Highway, and again about 8 or so different assorted flavors there for your drinking. Also, for all of your pharmaceutical and medicinal needs, it's Seco Pharmacy. Seco Pharmacy right there at the junction of High Street and Temple Street. There it is, yes, from 8 until 5 in the afternoon, Monday to Saturday. You could check them right there at Seco Pharmacy. And also Plumbing Electrical Limited, Ahmad and his team right up there at the Herbert's Potters Extension. Be sure to check them out for all of your plumbing and electrical needs. I was up there sometime last week, and I'm telling you, he's well stocked up. So anything you need for your plumbing or electrical needs, be sure to check them right there at Plumbing Electrical Limited. And Cool and Smooth, for all of your sporting, electronics, you name it. Whatever you need, just check them right there at Cool and Smooth. Amir and his team, they will take good care of you there. So I think we have covered our major sponsors and contributors there. And so I think Taddy, India just defeated England in a T20 match there just a while ago. Just finished watching it. It was a good game there. And I know the West Indies, we have the West Indies President 11 playing against India at the Coolidge Cricket Stadium. I think they were out for, Sri Lanka was out for 176, and I think the last score I heard was 106 for 1 or so. But good afternoon, Taddy. Welcome again to Talking Parish League.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. The viewing audience, whether John like to take me down this cricket, story, but I really don't want to get into that too much, John was telling you, I started back in West Indies a long time ago, but I don't want him to lose.
That's terrible, Taddy. That's terrible.
No, that is terrible. What happened was my great friend, Viv Richards, when he was captain, he selected a guy named Mosley, who died the other day, who went to South Africa. And I went to look for him and said, look, as from now, I want West Indies to lose all the matches, but I want to score a century every time you bat. I couldn't say, Viv refused all the money to go to South Africa, pick a guy who went to South Africa, so I couldn't deal with that in principle. So that's why I started back in West Indies, to be honest with you. But I don't want it to lose, but I don't back them. Don't get the wrong ideas. But today, we should have a good show today. Last week, he was supposed to come and he has an emergency meeting to pick this West Indies squad. I don't know. I don't think he's selected, but maybe to fire one captain and bring another captain. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, some kind of director now, but he gets so big. But this is a man, hey, you're a very good friend. And plenty of the time, not my good friend. But hey, we're still buddies. I've known him for so long, playing with Pansy, Ovals, Grace, Green, and Atas, and sometimes Maiko. Maiko, when you when you find the farms on Empire the Plane, Mark, Michael buy people. Michael go on, buy people. So they'll get some Empire guys to try to win 2 matches. That way, John. You get to the history of Michael from time to time. But I tell you, I haven't known Como so long. His brother Dale used to go by the shop in Whole Street, play a lot of dominoes, and all kind of thing, play dominoes till morning, and all kind of stuff. So then I can tell you, he was great skiing captain, all kind of stuff, him yards and something. Can they come Parish League? You can't even buy it, in trouble when you come Parish League. I want something, you know what I mean, John? But the thing is, I can tell you something, John. I'm going to knock you a little bit now, John, a little bit. Because I see, he did something major the other day, his big final better, But guess what? When Parish League started a playoff, it just cost me half an hour. So we match up cricket is supposed to play off. But guess what? Where AC are going to play off now, and I can tell you, I'm going to knock you a little bit now. I got to play off, that final is such a big thing. My partner came and the whole thing up there. So that is what final does to you, John. I think Koeman, they will learn it now. I said, not only that now, I said the final, if they had the media, that avenue, that media, to make it even bigger. But the mere fact of the final, John, boy, the kind of emotions come out of the finals. Because what we experienced in Parish long time ago, when the player does play the preliminary rounds, after those 6 rounds, I played 8 rounds, the team that win the championship guy is stalemate. But this is where we started our playoffs. So now I'm so happy that the Carter aren't it. Because you say Italian American sport. but hey, John, everybody's without the Parish League. So Parish League takes credit for this one, you know what I mean? But John, it was great for the cricket. But what happened to the John? That style of cricket, That style of cricket. The fans get so excited and emotional over the win. They storm the field, which, I can't blame the Cricket Association for that. Like, I thought the final should be played in the stadium, where you can control the crowd a little better. Nobody went on the field. So they got their battle up. I'm really sorry because we wanted to get our cricket going too. We wanted to get going too, and we were relying on the protocol that AC put in place to make sure we follow them, get it in place so we can get cricket going. But I can take home back these Steelman days and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I remember he started every night and so on. Every night was a choky band for artists. I used to live close to artists. I used to live very close. I walked only 5 minutes by the bands. I tell you what, you ever hear about this great what to hi-fi?
Yes.
What to hi-fi started in the same place now. In the same yard, Pedio Band House, Cotton House. Okay, so I said, I tell you, I've been around the block and that. When they're 70 years old for nothing, John. I know these things.
You have been around, Taddy.
Yes, and I tell you, I know them. I know the scenario around there.
Well, let me not waste any further time. And just to advise our viewers, we are also coming live on the Antigua Parish League YouTube channel. So if someone can't get us on the Facebook, they can also check our YouTube channel. And also do remember on Fridays and Sundays, we have some rebroadcasts on CTV Channel 8. Leon Kuma Rodney, good afternoon. Welcome to Talking Parish League.
Blessed love. Very, very, very excited to be here. Thank you very much. Thank Daddy. Thank Mark. Thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's good to have you, Kuma. And unlike some of the more recent shows you'll go on where you discuss the present day issue, at Talking Parish League, we generally like to take you back. We like to rewind that clock. And so now we know, yes, you're the president of the Antigua Cricket Association, but we're now really going to focus on Leon Kuma Rodney. Or Kuma, I think, is your pet name. We're going to focus on Kuma and what it was like, just growing up in your community. I think I saw the Grace Farm, Grace Green, whatever you want to call it. And so we want to look back at those days, and I keep saying, when Sir Viv sat there, his first if I want to say presentation, his first, what he articulated was the benefits of that community spirit. And so we want to bring that out of you also to see what it was like for you, how it impacted your life and brought you to where you are. So Kuma, and again, as I said earlier, we freelance here. We don't have no script.
Yeah, that's good, And again, let me just thank you guys because, as you say, majority of the time you talk about the recent days and so forth, and I'm glad for this opportunity that we can go forward, to come forward, and Kuma is not a pet name. pet his dog. And, Kuma is a real name.
Who is real?
Yeah.
All right.
I was born in Grace Farm, Clarkswood, Grace Farm to be exact. And a lot of people don't know where Clarkswood is. When they tell them I come from Grace Farm, Clarkswood, they say,
First they hear the name,
They say
particularly
Clarkswood.
do.
Grace Farm. They say Grace Farm now on the Clarkswood. I say, okay. Me and Shipwreck man on the Clarkswood, Grace Farm. That's the road that runs from Bargain Center down to
I know the road. Yep, I know it.
to Armstrong.
Armstrong Road. Yeah,
That
yeah.
is Clarkswood.
Yeah.
I was born in
No, I
Clarkswood.
never know that.
I left Clarkswood, Grace Farm in 1969 to be exact, and we moved to Otters. You know, the old lady took us to Otters to live. A lot of people still never knew that I live in Otters because I'm always still in Grace Farm because I'm a true ghettoan. And let me tell you why. I was born in Grace Farm, raised up in Otters, played Alma, steel band in Point. So I'm a true ghettoan. You understand? I understand what it is to be a ghettoan. You understand that? So raising up in Otters, yeah, it was good, very good life. I mean, you know, all your neighbors, those were the days you could have left your house open and so forth. And obviously, you know, if you go down the road and cause like a mischief, somebody could bang you. You can't go and go tell that you get blow because the more blow. You understand?
So true.
So you understand? So after moving to Grace Farm, went to Otters, you know, start getting around a little bit and so forth. As Study said earlier on, I started playing my steel band in Ebonites. And the person who introduced me to steel band is a good friend of mine they call Carlton Donkey Box Gallery. And I can remember it like today.
The famous hardball player.
I can remember it like today, sitting home at the evening, that time black and white TV, you know, watch on TV, and I started saying,
When you have to change the channel,
yeah,
click, click,
yeah,
click,
my
click,
mom had a shop, a rum shop, then they call her Giant.
Yep.
The Giant, you know, rum shop, Giant. And I was there, and I remember he came, I said, kind of stammer, you know, so he said, you know, tie down in the house, man, come like, I'll go down the band house. He said, blacks, what you talk about banners? Come on, learn to play on pan. And I eventually started going to Ebonites. And those days, obviously, too, you know, you don't play pan, practice pan, and somebody say, hey, go my mom, you come down, 2x4. So, what that is saying, you know, that time, Ebonites was in what they call the old cotton house, a big, that had to be the longest wooden building ever in Antigua.
Where was that located?
That is right there, which part they call Bendong now.
Okay.
You know, just around that area. And sometimes here the old lady come, jump through the window on the other side, they get home before she in your bed to lie down and play your sleep because she, as far as you're concerned, she left you in the bed to sleep and go look for you. You know? So all of those times was some of the times when you know, still man maybe a bad man thing and so forth, and so you have to come through the process. And I started playing in Ebonites in 1973. And I ended up moving to Harmonites in 1975. Coincidentally, Ebonites was practicing at one time for Panorama. And the guy who was arranging the tune, he left and went to America. And then the other guy who came to finish up the song stopped somewhere in the middle of the song and went to play the Harmonites. By that time, two of my better buddies in Charlesworth, Andrew is the brother of Minister Paul Andrew, and a guy by the name of Calvin Galloway Spires, who is also the brother of Carlton Galloway. They were already playing in Harmonites. So they said, listen, hey, come to Harmonites. I went to Harmonites in 75. I didn't get stuck at Harmonites at that time because Panorama 75, they ran out the instruments. So then I went back and started playing in 76, and from the moment I started playing with Harmonites, I was welcome, you know, played Panorama 76, and then after that, usually you have Panorama players and what you call playing out players who go to the hotels and so forth. And I remember Fitzroy Champ Martin at the time. Champ said to me, listen, hey, I think you can be a good player now. Come and do some practice and you can start playing in the hotels and so forth. And I thought about it and I said, okay. I start playing out with Harmonites, and then as time goes on, luckily, as a young man, I mean, in 1979, Harmonites were given the opportunity to be part of the Caribbean show at the Super Bowl halftime show in 1979 at, in the Orange Bowl in Miami. I can remember that like yesterday. Dallas Cowboys versus Pittsburgh Steelers. Up to now, I'm a Steelers fans, even though I don't watch.
That's where we wear yellow.
No, it was accidental. Why I'm a Pittsburgh fan? What happened when they gave us the magazine? Pittsburgh had the most color of my skin.
Yeah, true.
You know, so I said, this is my team. You know, I really don't follow the NFL and so forth.
What is that? That was 1979.
1979. So we were part. The halftime show was a Caribbean show, and Harmonize was the representative from Antigua at that halftime show. At the Super Bowl, 1979, that was played in the Orange Bowl in Miami. And obviously, as a young man, and I say that to say because about the only thing that I've never really represented in my community, Grace is Halcyon, which is a little unfortunate, but at the end of the day, as a young man, you get an opportunity with a big man like Harmonize to play at Super Bowl, and at the time we were playing nearly all the hotels in Antigua. Who young man really at that time
would pass up that opportunity.
Pass up that, you know, especially, you know, on the side, you know, you have one or two girls here, you know, so, you know, the girls are coming too, so, you know, I have to talk the truth, guys, so, you know, as a musician, and Taddy will know as a sportsman at the time, you know, we can keep.
Yeah, Viv told us a lot about that.
Taddy will know as a wicketkeeper, he's never a wicketkeeper, you know, and he used to make some words, so he know, he had his fair time of the ladies.
Yes,
so,
yes,
you know,
yes.
We did do a little thing, so, in that, and those opportunities, so I went on and I continued to play the Harmonize. I played the Harmonize for 20 years. And then I think at one point in time, you know, sometimes the negatives start get more than the positives and you just feel, well, it's time to move on. I decided I was going to stop playing music. So much so I had my own instrument, I sold it. I can remember a gentleman from Barbuda by the name of John Thomas. I think he's the brother of Kemwai. He came to Antigua and bought my partner, double tenor at the time. And I decided I'm finished with that. And one day, William Lewis, God bless his soul, I met him and I was talking and so forth and told him what I wanted to do. And he said, listen, go ahead, man, start a small band, you know, start this little band. And that's how then Roots came along. I started Roots Steel Band and I had that for the next 20 years also. So one thing about me, I'm kind of committed. I'm in a longevity. You know, like my first girlfriend, we probably together for 10 years. Second serious girlfriend, like 17 or 15 years, you know, and now the next 10, 11 years. So I'm committed. The cricket, I'm in cricket ever since. I'm in Steel Band ever since. So it's a sort of commitment, you know. So in terms of Parish League now, yes,
Well, Kuma, before you just branch off into the Parish League, the Steel Band, one thing I wanted to add, has any other representation from Antigua had that opportunity, like what Harmonize would have had?
Well, I'm going to tell you something how my luck. And I don't even like to call it luck. It's what is yours is yours. I had an opportunity with Harmonize to be part of the only steel band that ever played on a halftime show from Antigua, this part of the Caribbean, because they also had a band from Trinidad. I think it was Pandemoniums at the time who was representing Trinidad. I think I was also lucky having Wood Steel Band to up to this list being the only steel band that has been nominated for the Sunshine Award in New York by our recording. So, you know, we have had some good times.
John, I want to take you back to the 76 competition thing, you know. And I think before that, we mentioned Ebonites. Ebonites was his no good band when it started first. I used to go on the street on Saturday nights to play. And they couldn't find people to push a band for them. Band and so.
Yeah, that happened one time.
But I remember when that year I was playing for Antigua and so we went to Montserrat. And they were talking about Ebonites. Ebonites do the good. So if Ebonites continue to play on the road every Saturday night, Ebonites got a lot of fans, you know.
Yeah, right.
When I came back, Ebonites had too many fans, you know.
Wow.
The big crowd on Saturday night, like Juve morning.
Let me tell you something. They had no other band who used to go on the road more than Ebonites. Just say holiday Monday, Saturday before holiday, we on the road. You know, just mash up the road. Except one time, boy, up on the road, boy, and here comes Superstar coming down the road, and Superstar used to go on the road, right? And Superstar used to have one tune, but that tune will kill you. Okay. A tune they call Hang Loose by the Mansions. When Superstar come down that road, and you going up,
Yeah, but clear the way.
Clear the way, you better divert. And I remember when we were going up the road, real nice, that was nice, boy. We had a lot of people in the band. When Superstar passed, man, boy, I have to push back and try yourself. Everybody got with Superstar, you know.
Hey, John, one last thing, John.
Those were the days, you know.
I want to remind about the 76 competition now. I remember Shah just sing a song about that too.
Yeah, Shaw Shirt with a song, Hands Off Harmonize.
Exactly.
1976.
The reason being,
that was the 75 from 75 Panorama.
You remember there was a Trinidad judge.
Yeah.
He used to come here. And the Trinidad judge, Prospect, I think his name was.
Yeah.
And when Prospect finished to live with the judgment, he would think nobody can place. Harmonize said somebody sound like potato go down hill. Nah, you remember that cool?
Harmonize came second to last. Second to Harmonize won the Panorama. Let me tell you what, my memory. Superstars was a very, very exciting band. But if you check the record, Superstars only won one single Panorama in Antigua. Okay. And they won 1973.
But they're the most fans.
And they played a song by Kitchener called 73. So they won 73, the song 73. Harmonize came 74 and Harmonize won 74. And 75, 1975, then is when Halcyon came out there and destroy everybody. Everybody can see it like right now. When Halcyon fans play the fanfare, let go the balloons.
I remember that.
Down the road, mash up the passer, win the competition. Prospect say Harmonize sound like potato good on hill and come second to last and blah blah blah.
Oh, that's a shorty copy the song Hands Up.
1976 now, well they say well Prospect mash up the judging and so forth, so then I'll bring back nobody. So they were supposed to have a judging panel. This is just my memory. And apparently they end up using one judge.
Dawood?
A gentleman by the name of Haji Dawood.
Dawood.
I think his name is Haji Dawood.
And
I'm going to put it how they say it, because I was a young panelist. All I know that I started the competition, me no like to lose. Right. So me end up acquiring and so forth because me say, well, I will play so good. And Haji Dawood, when we get to how we get to understand it, he was a passer ranger of Hell's Gate and a very good friend of Hell's Gate. And a lot of people
Kuma, are you suggesting some impropriety there?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what happened at the time. Some people
didn't have to say so.
Some people
everybody says so.
So a lot of people just could not see how Hell's Gate got inside of that. But at the end of the day, you have to understand when you're having a competition and you have a judge, the judge knows what he wants to hear and he knows what he wants to hear and he announced Hell's Gate. And that put the Panorama in a tailspin. So 77 now, all the big bands did not come. And then now, Ebonites catch the break coming there. At that time I was playing Harmonize, but then with Harmonize not playing, we played with Ebonites. I'll go and help them out because I also, even though I was playing in Harmonize, I used to still play with them on the road and so forth.
Okay,
right? Okay. Because at that time we used to call it the university. Ebonites is the university. Everybody, it's just like Parish League. Everybody coming through Parish League. A lot of guys would come through Ebonites, so we call it the college. And so Ebonites brought in a guy from Trinidad and Ranger they called Lexi. And we won with a song called Paninelli. That was an original piece. Paninelli, we really dominated the stage. Obviously they say when the big dogs are with the mice will play. So, we had our turn, and we took it from there and Ebonites continued to go and go. All that time I was really playing with Harmonize because as I say, after I would have gotten involved with Harmonize, with the sort of opportunity where you'd be traveling, done tours with Harmonize and so forth, you felt that, hey, listen, you really would not want to be any other place but Harmonize at that time.
John, Harmonize became the girls' band too.
Well, no, I think Superstars, to be honest, to be fair, Superstars guys did get quite a little bit more than us. Let me tell you something.
Well, everything will come out here now.
When it comes to FET, listen, I'm just putting the tag. You asked me to come and explain, how life went and so forth coming up. And I'm glad for the opportunity because people see you, they really don't know, As I said, I was born in Grace, so I'm raised up in Arthur's, play my pan in Pine, so I've been around. I'm a real local boy, very down to earth, And so Superstar was the party band, When you hear high school FET, you go high school FET. Superstar done with high school FET.
Mark look on Taddy face. Because Taddy ugly.
When they finish with high school FET, But we did have our time too, I remember clearly not Independence. They used to have a big black Rama state every state day up at East Bus Station. I don't know if Taddy remember that. All the bands lined up there by the bus station house and so. And when you finish, obviously, for those of us who know what inside of Park look like, I would not give you
good afternoon, Sherilyn. It's good to have you on board.
So
Practice Joshi. Yes, Kuma. Nice to see you. Good evening, gents. That's Joshi.
Oh, hey, Joshi, what's up, man? Born in England.
Yeah.
Burton Kerry. Every time is history class. Yes, man. That's all we do here, man. We just give you a lot of history. George Ferris. Good,
Georgie boy.
good afternoon, Sir Taddy, John Mark, and attacking batsman.
Boy, love that. He
Prezi
love that.
Kuma.
He
Wow,
love that. He
Kuma,
love
we
that.
got to talk about that a little. Enjoying the show as always. Carol Martin, good afternoon, guys. Conrad Bauer. Okay, now let me take Darby first. Darby says good afternoon to everyone.
Hey, Darby.
Conrad Bowers. Taddy is my boy, but truth be told, young ladies would wait to carry his gears after a game.
Oh, Lord,
You
Daddy.
stand up by the roundabout. Them days, and you would see. Them days, and you would see. Still my boy. Well, Taddy?
Taddy mouth open boy. Like,
Tory jump out.
I hope I know what kind of work. Taddy. You know, so, as I say, you know, all that was some real good times. And as life went on, as I say, I left from Harmonize and I started Roots, which was also good to me. After nomination, of course, we'd have been in New York, we played in Mexico, we played in Switzerland, we played in Barbados, we played in Guadeloupe. So we got around a little bit, you know, and you have to give praise and thanks to the Almighty for that. Listen, God, y'all are talent.
Kuma, before you...
Big time. Well, let me put it this way. I believe if I was coming now, I probably could have get a little lucky because some of them guys, as me see, they're really better than me. I'll get into that.
Tell me something, my friend. Well, didn't you go to St. Thomas afternoon too?
No, Harmony, well, I'm going to give you a joke about the St. Thomas thing. When I started playing with Harmony, as I tell you, I was supposed to start playing in 74, but I didn't have enough instruments, so I started playing in 75. So now, they used to go to St. Thomas on a regular basis. Now, when I joined the band, they're still going to St. Thomas, but now it's by boat. So I say, well,
But you're boat, man. You got your boat family.
no, for me, boat and boat, man. Not me. I did go to Dominique a few times on boat with them guys, but to be honest with you, boy, they're coming back and so sometime, boy.
It was rough.
Boy, you vomit things that you eat and so. So, when I told my mom, well, you know, the band, you know, just start playing the band, they want me to go St. Thomas and so forth. But it's on boat. My old lady say, boat? Not a fishy picnic. Not a fishy picnic, you know what I mean? So I never really went to St. Thomas with them because every time it was on boat and I had to pass it because obviously at that time, you know, young guy and, you know, still have to listen to what mommy say, still, you know what I mean? So, notwithstanding, I've been to St. Martin on boat. I've been to Dominica, cousin of my brother. They used to do that trip, you know, St. Martin, Dominica,
Dominica,
and so
yeah.
forth. But it's not a hobby of mine at all. Let me tell you something. I mean, I would prefer to walk the Barbuda than take a boat. You know, so you know, yes. And that time they used to destroy St. Martin, St. Thomas. I know they had a good stint going to Puerto Rico, playing at Pueblo supermarket, and a couple of times. So we really did get around in the steel band time, and just have to give praise and thanks to the Almighty for that gift that He would have given to me at that time.
Kuma, was there a lot of youngsters in the steel band fraternity in those times?
Yeah, man, a lot. But as I say, in the early part, it was really always a challenge because at that time, steel band was still a bad man thing. You know?
Yeah, you said Batman.
Well, that's how they used to look at it. Because remember, no, before that, remember, steel band had this hustle playing on the road. I don't know if you have this history from between 1940s coming up. Steel band playing on the road. So
let's bring us up to date quickly.
Police used to have to run them and so forth. So much so that I don't know if you ever heard the story that at the time when the Hell's Gate went to church to play, the person who was supposed to tell the band where to set up wasn't there. So the sexton at that time told them was to set up like somewhere close on the pulpit. When the pastor comes, the pastor said, Hell's Gate on the pulpit. No. They have to go over there.
No hell on the pulpit.
No, you can't have Hell's Gate. So it was a challenge. And anybody will tell you they used to run, police to run them and so after the road and so forth. So at the time when I started playing, it was still a kind of a thing that you know, it's a bad man thing. So parents and so forth was still a little skeptical
of having their
children
children
forth and so forth. And as study said, eventually playing in Harmonize, what had happened, Harmonize was, then they used to call it the society. I can't put up with it. That's how it is, because most of the guys then would have been coming from academy school. You know, like Harmonize and Academy had this relationship at the time. At the time, as I remember, this guy King that
Leroy King, yeah.
You know, the man that
Yeah.
So he was teaching at academy at the time. So all those guys like Tulong, Cowell Johnson, and all those guys came from academy because all that academy had steel band. Academy had a steel band long time. So then, you know, then you start getting, you know, accepted and so forth. But I must say, in this modern time, we have to thank the parents, because a lot of parents now, they take the kids to the pan yard, who don't wait for them, go back and pick them up. Some of them during Panorama will lie down in the car, sleep, and wait to take them home. So it came a long way. But,
I want
but it was a long
to
way.
intervene a little bit, because now you mentioned Harmonites and Academy. That's what the relationship between Superstars and Grammar School.
Right.
So,
yeah. Feed the program.
At one time, Superstar was housed at Grammar
Grammar
School.
School.
You know? Yeah, that exactly was the combination. School and Superstar, Harmonites and Academy.
Because well, from my growing up, I think Gemini's also was like a brainchild.
Because Gemini started from
PM school.
School, right?
Yeah.
That's
PM Serenaders.
Right. That's
Yes.
that's what my knowledge.
PM
I mean,
Serenaders. Yeah, that is
Oh,
Gemini.
that was good. That was good, man.
So it was a fantastic, fantabulous time coming up during the pan fraternity. Eventually, I end up being the president of the Pan Association at a time when it was really, really struggling. And I will tell you this, how I become the president of the Pan Association. We always trained that we're going to start up the association, because Pan was basically taking it over.
Cardi almost dead.
Well, I always say to them, Pan never dead, he just needed a little injection.
Almost dead.
And we went to buy Mark pharmacy and we got some injection. We had an injection and we gave it an injection. And as I always say to them, so what happened? I went over to Switzerland for 5 weeks with my band, Wood Steel Band, Taddy and guys. And it's not a joke. When I see and understand that basically Antigua was second in the world at one point in time. Trinidad, anytime I say Trinidad, you say Antigua. And I'll tell you something after. So when I went to Switzerland, we had an issue with a pan, one of our instruments. And the gentleman who took us over to Switzerland, a gentleman by the name of Mr. France, sent us into the capital to check a pan tuner, to tune the pan. Daddy, when I went into when we went to see the guy, this man had a steel band factory, a Caucasian guy. A steel band factory, and not a joke factory. You see, like this big building, the building may be bigger than this. Downstairs and so forth is where he build the pans and tune the pans. And it's well padded, because in Switzerland, nice pollution is a very serious offense.
Okay.
And like up here, see, like this room is a tuning room. And after I saw what I saw, I said, listen, when I go back to Antigua, right, this foolishness that we have been doing for a while has to stop. I put up my hand, I said, gentlemen, I'm running for the presidency of the Steel Band Association. We're going to change things around. I remember vividly a day I was on a show with my good friend Governor Slim, and I want to give credit to the guys who assist, because I may have been the president at the time, but my whole executive, you have to give all those guys thanks for seeing what I was seeing and support. But from a standpoint of Governor Slim, the Kenny Nibs, Dave Lester Payne, Alex Big One and so forth, those guys used to tolerate me on the show. Sometimes I show them, say, boy, come disgusting now, but I really cave them say so, because we got the job done.
You want the message out.
I remember on a show on ZDK, me and Governor Slim about 4:30 in the afternoon, a guy called me from Boland. And I can remember it like now. The guy called me and said, hey, good afternoon, Kuma, how are you? You're Governor Slim, Nice, you listen, you can see him smiling. Say, yeah, man, I'm good. He said, boy, something, a long time you crazy, I went PM school with you, and a long time you figure out that you're a crazy man. So I say, why you say that? He said, listen, Steel Band come back when me and you and our grand picnic so dead. And I remember I said, gentlemen, sir, just give us about 5 years and you will see the development of Steel Band in Antigua. He said, well, as I just say, a long time you're crazy. And to be honest with you, it wasn't 5 years good before we brought back Panorama. I took over the presidency in 2000, and we brought back Panorama in 2001. And like things will have it, we pulled for position now. The first band that played on stage when we brought back Panorama in 2001, a band by the name of Gemini's, and they were playing a song called Back on the Stage by Carl the Panman. And up to this day, Panorama has never been cancelled before last year when COVID knocked out everything. Pan, Calypso, everybody. So, all of that was part of the work that, I think the spirit of the Almighty gave me that.
But you see, it's so nice to mention that. Can I tell you, it took you to go to Switzerland.
Yeah, to realize that we're farming food in Antigua as an island that was second place. And I say second place because remember, well, based on what I was told, and I'm sure if you speak to Alistair Thomas, he can bring up to date with that. One the person who had that down pat, who taught me all of that was Cleve Joseph's father.
Egbert.
Yeah, Egbert.
Right.
What you have to remember, 1959-60, Antigua basically was the best steelman country in the world. And what happened, Brute Force and Hell's Gate went to Trinidad between 1959-60. And when they literally done mash up Trinidad, Dr. Rodney, Dr. Williams, Eric Williams, had a big meeting in Trinidad. Asked Alistair about that. And he called in all the pan arrangers, tuners, and he let it be known from today, no band will ever come back in Trinidad in Barry Sauce like that. So here's what happened. Pan tuners, builders, oil company, every drum that I have that you're not using because you know they use import the oil and you use the oil. Say all the drums go to the pan tuners. And listen, every pan they build and they go just drum. And the oil company bring drum because this will never ever happen. And let me tell you something. When I become the president of Pan Antigua Steelman Association, I used to go to Trinidad very regular because Pan Trimbago used to invite us down. Every little thing that they have, they invite us down, you know. And every time I used to go to Trinidad, guys, three things you go hear about. First thing, especially the elders. They go, God, boy, what going on, boy? Bootfoot still alive or what? What about the Hell's Gate, boy? And then they start telling you about, oh boy, oh God, boy. Hell's Gate and Boot Force, boy, the guys come down and destroy us, boy. And then they're going to talk to you about this tourist Lego thing, boy. Short shirt. And then you know who else they're going to ask about? King Viv. Right? And in later days now, when Ambush create some stuff down there, it's Ambush. So when we start go down there again, you know, 5-something now, Hell's Gate, Boot. Like you'll never ever stop hearing about Hell's Gate. And then now we short shirt. My good friend down there who was the vice president at the time with there, boy. A man short shirt, boy. That man come down here, cast chaos, boy. Man mash up everything. He said, boy, let me tell you now, short shirt could have nearly win the road march. He says the first time ever in Trinidad, court open on a Sunday. Because what happened now, according to the rules that
Wait, court open on Sunday?
Yeah.
Court open on Sunday?
He said the first time court ever opened on Sunday to stop short shirt from get road march with tourist Lego. Because what happened? They have a rule that short shirt not supposed to win the road march. But every time they check something else, there's a loophole
for short shirt, right?
Until when they finally find something and say, so when they catch themselves, Juve morning and Monday, so the court have to open Sunday for stop short shirt from get for stop short shirt from get road march.
Wow.
You understand? Go and check that and ask Alistair about that. That was serious, and it's not I say so. It's the vice president of Pan Trimbago at the time gave me the history. He said, boy, tourist Lego so mash up Trinidad. All the bands that play tourist Lego. A short shirt could get one mass, so they had to go court this Sunday. So, you know, I've been around a little bit in the pan world, yeah.
That is a great story.
On that note, that is really, you know, we've been
so
talking a little pan, talking a little pan for the past 40 minutes or so.
Yeah. So the cricket,
going through his whole...
The cricket, boy, I'll give you a story about the cricket. So,
wait. I want to differ so in the cricket. You did come to our show last week. Right. Because you're going to change the captain.
You know, I'm not here to discuss that part. CW, I changed the captain.
Hey, you're director.
Which director?
Oh, yes.
Good afternoon, Ajani. Yes. Let me also commend Ajani. Ajani just received his, I think it's level 2 or level 1, his coaching certificate, Taddy. So good afternoon to Ajani.
Well done, Ajani.
Well, you know, that's crap in nonsense, right?
Conrad Bowers. Giving you some props, Mark. Mark seems to get better every week at this producing thing.
Carry man, come out of the nonsense, man.
Yes.
Yes, so Taddy was leading me somewhere.
Yeah, I was saying he missed the whole show because he had his emergency meeting. He had an emergency meeting to fire the captain. But I think the captain deserves fire, you know. But, hey, he didn't know emergency meeting for that. That should have been a conclusion.
I can't comment on that.
I don't want you to comment.
Kumar, tell us
Well, listen, the cricket, right? And you know, funny enough, you know, growing up over time, we loved all the sports. And basically our main sports were football and cricket. And you know, it was seasonal. So I would have played a lot of football. I really love football, and coming from the best football community in Antigua. You had a choice.
Wait. It's the best football community we made.
Going.
Well, Empire had some goodish guys, I agree with that.
Goodish at one point in time, Empire had nearly the whole of Antigua team of Empire. Listen, just give us some credit, Taddy.
I think we were part of the fun watching this thing now. Let me say something. Wait, man, wait. Empire getting so much blood the other day.
I don't just know them, man. You talk about Madden, there's some, you talk about Wales.
Okay, all right, okay.
So, I'm not a very bright guy. I'm a very common sense guy. I was lucky to go to Teacher Martin School, for those of us who know where Teacher Martin School was, and then I went to TOR School right here.
The school?
The school right
Say
here.
back in history, you know what?
TOR School, and then...
When it was Robinson School.
Nelly Robinson School.
Yes.
And then I went to PM School. And I'm a reasonable, common sense person, as I say. All of us did not get the opportunity to go to universities and so forth. So some aren't so bright, but I think common sense allow us an understanding the street to get to some point. So started playing cricket, even around school. Really didn't want to play much school cricket, but I partnered with a gentleman going to PM school. You know PM school days. And at that time, I don't know who would want to play that now, but we used to have a shell ball team. Shell ball team, and we used to have two guys at PM school bowl fast, real fast. I used to bowl real fast. As a matter of fact, we used to invite Henry School up to PM school for like a series. We used to have like a 10-match series, you know. Not more than test match, but 10-match series. And myself with another gentleman, at one time when the series gone about 5, Henry School said, "Nah, come back."
You can't take them up, bro?
Two fast bowlers just up in the side and knock them down, so that fast bowler boy. I was one of the fast bowlers.
Oh, you're shy now, what?
Well, whatever, but I used to get
You have to be shy.
I used to get it off real quick. And then the other guy, you know him very well, and as we continue, if he call his name, I'll whistle. If he get it right, you know.
Oh, okay.
So
Wait. Can't be back.
So we had a very...
Wait, man, wait. John want to find out something.
John, where want to find out?
Say what you say again about Mark. What you describe him as?
Very fast. Very, very fast.
Let's leave it right
Wait, Kuma. So John wanted to say something. Like I've been telling for the last, it's 5 months now, that Mark was a spin bowler. Mark was a spin bowler. Mark so slow to me. Mark like a spin.
Well, me don't know about the shell. With the shell ball, he was extraordinary. So let me
Hey, John.
Listen, let me stick with the shell ball.
I'm going to stick with the shell ball. But what happens, right? When you play the shell ball, the pitch wasn't good. That's the problem.
Well, listen, whether the pitch was good or not good, I'm telling
Cool,
you.
but the pitch make a difference.
Daddy, in them days, I worry about the pitch, I worry about...
Please.
Maybe that's why the technique and so them time was better.
I agree with you with that. I agree with that.
Nice, smooth pitch and so
Yeah,
forth.
I agree with you with
Let me
that.
just give credit to Mark, because he was very fast with the shell.
Mark, another feather in your cap.
Right?
All right.
So, in playing, by that time now, I would have been playing cricket community-wise, Oval, Spanview, Grace Green at the time. It wasn't Empire at the time, it was Grace Green. So I played with Panview. And what happened, in going to school now, and the word got on that I was playing cricket for Panview, then, you get called in that, why you playing community cricket and you're not playing for the school? So then you had to play school cricket. I also played a lot of football for school, so much so. I think I was a reasonable football player. So much so what happened at one time, myself, Eval D'Souza, Tittle, I can't remember his name, we call him Mora.
Yeah.
What's his name? Barrymore Tittle. A guy we used to call Manor Class, I don't remember his name. So the big guys at PM that time would have been Scott. Them guys used to say, hey, listen, you guys still have to come and play for the senior team. So we were juggling between junior team and senior team, And then the cricket, obviously, you still have to get in the cricket. To be honest with you, my mind really wasn't too much in the school cricket because at the time sometimes I go play school cricket, time to go practice community-wise, and my mind was more with the community.
You
because
wanted to play with the big team.
Yeah, well, apart from the big team, what happened that time? You were kind of juggling so much because even though you were playing with Harmonize, and it's just like maybe a fun thing. The way in which Harmonize was organized and structured, it was like a full-time job. You know what I mean? It's like a full-time thing. So if Harmonize say we're practicing at 6 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock, it's 7 o'clock. So sometimes you have to be juggling, make sure that you get home from time for the cricket or so forth. So you kind of get your mind, sometimes you get your mind confused between the football and the cricket and then school cricket to the left for go practice and then. So I was more in tune with the community. So I played with Panju for a while. Panju had quite a bit of history because at that time Parish League me had, that time, you have to work with your own umpire. Umpire. And you had a reasonable good team. They had a gentleman by the name of Frederick. I don't remember his first name.
Frederick Merchant.
Frederick Merchant. Very, very good guy. He played with us. He was considered in his age at that time.
Yeah.
He played for Antigua, but
He played for Antigua.
yeah, he continued to play well. As a matter of fact, I think he's still doing quite a bit of work up in Florida.
Tampa.
Where he's umpired and so forth. But he could have really bad. And we had our little jewelers and so forth. See, the Goat had a very good team, but
Wait. So you had a good team, thiefing team. Which one?
no, See the Grove had a good team, but
Hey.
allow me.
No, man, come on, man.
See the Grove had a reasonable good team. But they also used to walk over with the umpire that put his hand on his belly, so with a big straw hat, I can remember Oval Spans we were playing in See the Grove. We got 9 LBW.
Wait, the same big gut, man?
Yeah, the same umpire. I don't listen. Serious, but
9 LBW.
9 LBW, boy. 9 LBW.
9 out of 10?
So much so that we were playing up at St. John's grounds. See the Grove again, And Frederick Merchant, I think he got 101 or something. And the same umpire gave him up. Boy, Frederick just take it back and just lick down all the stuff. Match done, everything done,
Oh my.
But I'm just saying that to say that it was very competitive, but at the same time, it was kind of fearsome, especially when you go into certain territories. And well, for sure, when you go to See the Grove, you used to have to be careful. I played football.
Wait, be careful.
Oh, I played football over See the Grove over time. So, PM school, first 3 minutes, we kick into the goal going to the seawater. First 3 minutes, we have them 4-0.
3 minutes you said,
3 minutes, all them about 4-0. I mean, just
every minute and a half.
I am, man, just look like, hey, let's go up there by the toilet and bring the cutlass. Hey, anytime I score any more goal out there, I know what happened out there. Boy, that be a young guy now, man, start panic now. Man, start panic, boy.
Wait, man, what are the people them?
PM school now.
Man, I see the go, man, what are the people?
PM school now. Well, I'll come together quickly now, me and more and so forth. Boy, well,
What the strategy be?
You know what I can do, cause our kick go up, so now I start defending now big time. Because the second half we come in this way.
Right.
And me say, all right, well, down in our goal, but me put for me close down. Because as soon as the game done, we dance up.
Out of port.
I changed my boots, sat down right by Symmetry and changed my boots. I ran from See the Grove to town. That time it was really hard. See the Grove was a rough place. I remember basketball, Andy Joe Krishna and so getting a big wow over See the Grove. So it was, but it was...
As you said, it was really competitive.
Yes,
guys.
it was
really
competitive.
took
So I
it
played a
very
lot
well.
of Parish League cricket. I played for Parish League cricket for Oval Spanview. I played with Grace Green, which was Grace Green. Then I left and went to Otters. And then I went back to Grace Green, to my community, where I am, well, I still have to say I'm there up to today. During first class wide, I would have had a stint at St. John's, Rising Sun, and Villa, right? Them time we used to practice a lot, train very, very hard. I remember the days we used to go to factory. It does drive away from factory, so I'll never see eye to eye for something. But one thing I can tell you, we have never ever lost the mutual respect.
Okay, before you go, it's out to powder up, Taddy.
No, I'm not holding up. I'm not holding up. I'll tell you how it goes.
How come you and Taddy never see eye to eye? Tell us. Go.
No, we see eye to eye from time to time. No, we never see eye to eye.
Taddy marks very, very hard. And let me tell you something. It's not powdering up. If you're doing something, right, and you see somebody else doing something, for instance, you see Mark manning those cameras and you want to be a cameraman, and you cannot take anything from Mark and improvise on it and learn something from Mark, then it's best to stop being a cameraman. And that is in anything. So the days when we used to practice at factory and so forth, Taddy was, well, they call it the Ayatollah, and the channel might say so.
Come on, everybody knows so that's it, so not afraid to talk your mind.
But what happened at that time, that would have served its purpose at that time, because you get people tough. So we used to go to practice the factory. I remember the days.
You hold a second. Let me give you like a story so you can feel relaxed. We had a gentleman on Zoom last week from, you think he was in Australia?
From Willie Keys.
From Willie Keys. And he was telling us that he hide from Taddy.
He hide, but me never hide from Taddy. So let me talk.
So talk, so you can talk free.
You can't tell me to talk. Okay. What is this? You don't understand the only person I'm afraid he done that and he money in the father in the barn. So when you go to the factory, I remember Eldie in the name used to call me out my bed. Hey, meet our factory for 9 o'clock. Sometimes I say 9 to 12. When you catch this at 6 o'clock, I still left factory, ask Taddy. But Taddy and hard mark, Taddy look at, hey, you no good. You no good. Whether you good or you no good, Taddy tell you no good.
Right.
Because he always believe you have up your game, and must tell you, after I start coaching and so forth, I have took some stuff out of Taddy book in a refined way. You understand? I'm very, very tough on stuff that I deal with when I'm dealing with coaching. See, when I walk in through this door here, all are a friend, but I haven't been a friend. This is the cricket of business, the business of cricket. When I don't know, I can drink or toast, so forth, come tomorrow, me walk through the door, pull on this jersey for training. Right? So I'm saying, it's not because we never used to see eye there. He does get a lot of trouble because he go when Taddy come and tell 140 time on the field. When you gone 20 and say, where Taddy want for that? Where we ready? You know, you're not supposed to have a 3 o'clock. You can't wear it. If you don't want for wear it, come for 3 o'clock. You know what I mean? Time I remember witness a time guy come and tell Taddy, boy, Taddy, the old man's sick. I'm gonna have a move out of the cackle and them and so forth. A guy from home, so I can't remember who the guy be. Taddy said, well, what you shouldn't do? You should move them off since midday. So 140 time. And it's not about 5, but 25. But when the boy gone about 10, boy. Right, boy, so Taddy said, okay, well, come back 2 weeks, two weeks after now. So, well, that's a freestyle. But we had some good times there with the training at factory. If you look good, you see most of the guys who played at factory would have went on to play for, represent Antigua, and a lot of them went on to play for West Indies, Levers and so forth. And I always remember that whenever they go away and come back, at one place they come train, factory. You know, really and truly when we think about the Taddy, I feel Kenneth, Benjamin, Richie Richardson, L. Dean, Winston, all of them owe me some money, When you think about that, and the Omi and Cleve and so. Plenty of that does, listen to the bowl them up a factory.
True. I have a case of royalties. That's the word, like a back pay. From all them bowling, all those bowl them.
So get a bonus.
Some kind of, whatever you want to call it, wow, no. Because I put in plenty work with them. We never made it. Maybe some of them slipped me down with the slide in. Right. At the same time, to be honest with you, I think we had a lot of guys that was on the fringe that could have even played some one games and so forth. But at the end of the day, you know what? I've learned very seriously that everything is not for everybody, as I say. Mark is a specialist up at the pharmacy. If you go up there and you have a dead, Mark will tell you what to use to wash your skin and so forth, to make it smell sweet. And maybe bring him back alive.
Well, as I said, everybody has
the talent. So
their talent.
I believe, to be honest with you, God probably gave me a talent of, I'm not saying managing and so forth, but from an organizing standpoint. And I will tell you this: Fitzroy Brand taught me a few things, and I have been way back with Fitzroy Brand. A lot of people don't know that, but Fitzroy Brand took Harmonites. He and Ely Labadie was the persons in charge of the contingent which went to
Kerry Festival
in 1981, which Harmonize was a part of that. I do work a lot of cruise ship when we used to have contemporary
dances. Yep.
So we used to do shows, and sometimes we come off of one boat and do 3 shows on one day. So I traveled with Bran quite a bit, and Bran always tell me, Kuma, if ever you try to do everything alone, then you're going to have a problem because you alone can't do everything.
Right.
However, he always cautioned me, anytime you hear you delegate and you see somebody who would not produce, make sure that you have the ability to do what you would have given them to do. I took all of that in the back of my mind, and that's why I think that we kind of created a kind of all-around situation in getting things done. Because if I say, listen, boss, we have this to move this phone by Thursday, by Wednesday checking it, I may not ask you anything again.
Right.
I may just move the phone, and I got that from Brad. Got some toughness from Taddy, even though he made a little miserable and disgusting, but we tolerate him, and up to now, all of us still love him, because we know that it's just like you go, when you wake up in the morning, or at night, you know, you go sleep at night time. In them days, you can't go in your mother bed unless you wash your foot. You go in your mother bed and you wash your foot, in their sleep, you just feel blocked up, and you will learn that you'll wash your foot. So we had some good time with that, and the Parish League part of it was very, very good.
One
we were very comfortable.
one second, let me just bring in some texters here. Ed Lewis,
Ed.
Mark was quick. I can attest. That's for you, Taddy.
Oh, boy.
Did you hear that?
Conrad Bowers. Guys, Mark benefited from using the shell ball. Just call the name Tony Theodore and he will smile. Tony used to kill him with bats.
No. Listen, let me tell you something. What school doing this? Oh, PM?
City Grove, man.
No, man, let me tell you something. Nobody could ever tell you their PM school. Two bowlers they can't bang their PM at that time with a shell ball.
Mark and who?
Me and Mark.
Oh,
They
shit.
can't bang out when you come to the shell. Shell ball, me say no.
But
Mark you.
the man said Tony Theodore was Mark medication.
No, man, he can say what you want to say, man. Maybe he wants
Conrad, you can respond to that.
maybe he want glasses. But let me tell you something. I don't know. After a time, right, I was trying to figure out, wait, we really mean to play shell ball for sure. Shell ball and wicked ball the time.
I know shell ball.
Shell ball swing go.
All
three ways.
right.
Shell ball, when you look at about 3 or 4 ways that go before you reach, you know. So yeah, man, you know, the Parish League thing, there was a lot of hard work. Yeah.
Kuma, this is coming from Conrad again. Just be careful. Taddy like to laugh at Cedar Grove. You guys taking advantage of my village. Hillary Ambrose should be there to defend us.
That doesn't mean that they never used to bang people. As a matter of fact, Teddy ask Mason that time, Mervyn, we gave the joke, you know, when you see Mervyn, ask Mason, get him one time, see nobody one bus go see the go. Ask him bad man, ask him a real bad man, ask him this side, well, nobody go see the go. He drive it, but he one bus go see the go. When he come out, and he look for fear and he get no fear. When he come back, he turn all his seat and then cut up. So, ask he about that.
Neil Lewis, Bad News Lewis, good to have you aboard. Good afternoon to the panelists, just getting off
Good afternoon,
the
Bad News.
plantation and watching, so good to have you. Good afternoon, Mervyn, good to have you in house again, just observing us. Now, Kuma, when you started to play in the community itself, what was the sort of encouragement or the sort of receptiveness you got from the elder ones in the community?
Well, when I start playing, right, I start with like Parish League, especially Parish League. I used to feel very, very, very good, especially when I'm playing for Grace Green, not to play home. Let me repeat that. Even though some of my best performers was be at King George, I would always prefer not to play home because, you know, it's a lot of pressure playing home. At then time, everybody go cuss you and make, here what happened, the same man that just cuss you off a real thing, just make a half century. Hey, you're the best. Hey, long time I tell them, Robbie, you're supposed to play for Antigua, come back. Next thing is, dog. See, Jumbi Crab, long time I tell that, jokers them be, drop it. But when I used to enjoy going to places like Freetown, because you know Sunday afternoon, place packed. And I don't know, the girls up there used to always dress real nice. Willie Keys was another place that I used to enjoy going and play. Until only one single time, that boy they called Chester.
He was here last
He
week.
was right in that seat. When he took your place last
Chester?
week.
Yeah. Oh Lord. That boy Chester, boy, listen, we had a good thing going there, boy. Empire. I think by then we were Empire and not Grace Green, and we had a big game going on up there. The week before, I think this guy, Mannix had just calling them.
Ken Mannix.
Ken Mannix. And so Ken started what he started about some bumpers and I kind of help you down by the school a couple of times. And the crowd up, oh, you broke a man last week, broke for you now. And that boy Chester, I hope you're listening. Chester caught me out and over the boundary. Over the boundary. Chester caught me out and the umpire said, Chester say yes, umps.
Chester say yes?
Yes, umps. I say, umps, the man over the boundary. And again, Chester say, John, 100, you want to make up, yeah? You're out. So, okay. So, I used to like to play, both to play. Sweets was a very good place to play also, But them time, the crowds were coming out, especially the Sunday afternoon, giving support to the game. So, it gives you that energy that you wanted to play.
But Kuma, playing with the Grace Green Empire team, which community you said would you say would have been one of your biggest rivals at that time? A team you would not want to lose. You lose to. You won't get any sleep if you lost to them.
Boy, at that time, really and truly, I want to see the go bang you. You know what I see.
But City was the powerhouse at the time.
Well, let's put this. They used to play some reasonable cricket, and again, they play with 12 man.
I mean they play 12 man. Cricket only have 11 men on the field.
I told you about the umpire early on. The umpire with the big belly, so he stand up, put his hand on the belly, so I have our straw hat, our bad straw hat. And when you hear the ball hit you, the first thing is you just see the hat do so. And then see the hat do so, you know what happened after that.
The finger following.
Finger following. So at that time, I don't think you would want to see the go to beat you.
But did you play against Five Islands?
No, I never remember.
Or it was go to Golden Grove?
Yes, I played against Golden Grove. That boy used to play for them. Say he used to be a big bowler. That boy Peter. Well. That boy is some kind of big bowler. So, hey, I have to give you a joke now. That is a serious joke because up to this day, anytime the guy see me, he does so.
What, a duck?
Tree. No, he do so. Tree. You're part of the hatching. I don't know if you remember a time the relay station had a team in Parish League.
You be Luther?
How you know Luther? And then who Luther get? Luther out. Me, Wally, and Rayman. Hatching. Yeah. Up to this, the entire Luther League. Luther say. Athers versus
Calvin Relay.
Calvin Relay. That was the name. Calvin Relay. At Golden Grove.
Yep.
And Luther bowling from the town end. He has some like a sweetie someday bowl and gone with Remy, because Remy open batsman while he have a big number 3 batsman. So me say, Todd, Luther billions people, man. this sweetie thing, and then time I'm not named Pep the Bismal now, so drink some tea or something. Next thing me gone in me, click, wicket keeper gone. Luther get a hat trick. Yeah,
I remember that this thing, I think the prizes of a parachute presentation.
Yeah, so all of that was some real fun, you know what I mean? Real enjoyment, because Caribbean really, had a team. But, as a matter of fact, I think Cable and Wireless had a team at one time.
But they played Thursday League.
Oh, that was Thursday League, yeah. Right. But Caribbean really used to play in the weekend.
Well, cool. You see, I have to say something I said just now. Can be saying something in the language well here. Some of the borders are so sweet. The billions you.
True now. You know how I remember that at the time. This is a joke about my good friend Inude, Gray. So Gray, say police playing against others that time with Champ and Ralph and we used to have a guy they called Big Bird, tall guy. Ball, he used to open the ball with Ralph. I think he lives somewhere in the States now.
Okay.
Big Bird. Katamba and all that.
I know Katamba, yeah.
And others had a real good team at that time.
And the guy Anthony one day too, Bobby Anthony and the guys.
So you tell me, a week before he went to police, he get 5. I got 5 for nothing, So we going up Otters. So we playing up Otters. And the fella they call Champ Cantamba batting. They have 300 and something for 2 or something like that. So you would say, start, if they pass by the captain, say, pang, 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 pang.
That's the
line just come on and say, pang, pang, pang. would say, well, they say that I'm a lorry. I want my captain to say, a minute down there doing so. And I just pass and say, pum, pum, pum. So he say, after the guy nearly 400, the captain call you up, so. And you'd say, gone up. And you say, when I throw it up, so you know, Katamba gone on the wicket. Him out. He gone. I tell the captain, see, pum, 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 pum. So, you know, it was that time the competition was really good. You know, that time,
Kuma,
at that time,
one
police had a very good team, especially with fast ball. I think his name was Mr. White.
Right from yeah. Well,
He was pretty quick. You know, they had a good team.
Conrad is coming back here with something. He says, Kuma and a true. Ask a try for overcharge us. Think how we chop it. I don't know exactly what.
Okay, well, I was talking about the bus, so you see?
Okay.
You say that ask a try for overcharge us. So that make they cut off the man bus here. So you have a reason for cut the business. So anyway, you get the gist of the story.
All right.
So yeah, man. Them time the competition was reasonably good. One of the things that I believe happened at the time too.
Wait, I can take it in right now. I got to measure the name. Remember the last time we had hat here? Not in here. At Creole.
Yeah.
Gatey brought his scorebook. Gatey James. Say he scored a century Hatton, Union Road Hatton. So I said, Gatey, I get it, 1970 something. He scored a century. So you know what Hatton team do?
No, I knew about it, but I never played against them.
Okay.
Right? I think that would have come from Tung. I believe Tunka would have known more about that. You know, Daryl Tunka.
Yeah.
Tunka would have some better idea about that. But the thing is, that time, I believe it would fair for me to say that, notwithstanding that some of us was youngsters, the teams also had in some reasonable senior
guys.
Yeah, and that brings me to something in the latter days. And I must say that I end up agreeing with Soppy. When I started picking up coaching, and like the caretaker of Empire, I remember Soppy called me and they said to me, Kuma, you're making a mistake. You need to still play. And I said to him, no, I don't think it's the right thing to do. I think I'm more trying to get into the coaching and so forth. He said, Kuma, remember I tell you, I believe you should still play. You sit down the guys and let them know, do not expect anything from you. Do not expect anything from you. And you know, in high insight, and to be honest with you, I'm not one of those persons that I don't regret. I'm not one of the person who walk out regretting anything, because I believe anything that happens for a reason. And differently, I think that, as I said before, it should be a learning. Whatever happened to you that appears to be negative, you should be able to find the positive out of it. Right. So, but again, I think that Soppy was correct. I probably should have played the next 2-3 years. You know, just trying to help the guys.
Okay.
And, because I can remember vividly, majority of the times, I remember the days when Eldine and them guys used to go to England. As soon as they come out the plane, they play for St. John's. I'm playing against them. Don't talk feel sweet today, you want half and lick off one of them on the edge. I make people half say, you know, you feel good about it. If you look about it now, some of them guys play international, they come off, by the time they come out, they're tired, they want to sleep and so forth. But again, let us agree that they play so much more cricket now that you can probably appreciate that it's a different time. But yes, it was good, the Parish League. I remember, one thing I remember the first time when Thursday League started, because I remember playing some game out of Ginnins. A lot of people don't know Ginnins had a team there.
Yeah.
I was saddened when, you know, unfortunately my bosses and them say, well, you know, we go Thursday time. If I give 5 hours off for Thursday time, you know, that could do something to the productivity and so forth and replacement. And so I did not play Parish League for Thursday League for a very, very, very long time, until I think the time I was playing for Rising Sun or something like that. 1 or 2 matches because I was on vacation. But all of us who came through that system, those of us who would have learned not only from a playing standpoint, but taking some of the administration standpoint, as Taddy told you, it may appears when we go to Parish League meeting, you know 2 people can get in a cussing, me and Taddy. Because Taddy can say something that Kuma Rodney believe in, and Kuma Rodney want the person that, you know, man might sit down and say, oh, Taddy, you say, Taddy, you know, so me might say, well, you all go, get up, you know, but you know, I say so. If me feel something, You not tell me to say nothing, because you can't tell me to say nothing.
Right.
Me say what me feel.
You say what you want to say,
right,
yeah.
so sometimes my peers I live, well, me and Taddy, of course, but that will how me feel. I Taddy something, but me tell Taddy what me
See,
believe.
John, we say it for ages. That is what I like about Parish League meeting, you know. People come and have to say. But what if Kuma has his say? What happens? Kuma have his point of view. We might have our point of view, and we'll say, look, let's take it to the meeting. Let people vote on this.
Yeah.
If they agree with Kuma, we'll go along. They go tell it. But when we agree with what we agree with, that will be the laugh for now. That's the rules. You have to play with that for the year.
Right.
If you're not satisfied next year, we change it.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I like when Kuma and guys come. I love that. I like that kind of discussion that people have. They speak strongly about the team and the club, and they want to defend their club, you know.
And you know, once you open the challenge, right? Think about this now. Let me tell you, some people feel sometimes when people challenge, you know, that you're upset, and so sometimes you listen good enough. You listen real good. You know, well, me not too sure about the politician then, because the boy challenge and like them vex with you, especially when they're in the power. Check good. Anytime a politician in power, and he said this water bottle blue, and you say, but wait, you can't see man a red bottle that day.
Instant problem.
Instant problem. You know? So people challenge me all the while, and sometimes in leave you to go home and think, hey, you know something? As you say, okay, you want this rule here? And this is the rule for this year. And guess what? Sometimes now, when you're halfway in the tournament, man comes say,
Yeah.
Chup it rule, you know? But you're good for now.
But
Exactly. That's the point.
Look at this, right? When we did the 10 over the side tournament in December, I used something that we use in golf called a count back. Right? If the game tied, the count back from the last over. The team that make the most runs in the last over. Everybody agree. Oh yes, nice. When the team realized no tie part in here, well he make 11 ones and the other team make 12. Oh, that rule is stupid.
All of a sudden, say what they agree to. Say what they agree to.
I remember a game that how things work out so good that the lad that's sleeping, you know, the same man that caused by the rule is stupid last week because he lose one game. The next week he win the game by the same.
But Kuma, what we take out of what you're saying there, you know, is, and it happens, a lot of teams are not interested. They don't show any interest in coming to meetings, participating in the discussion.
Yep.
Their only interest is to go on the field and play. And so it's only now when the rule is explained or highlighted to them, then they have all sorts of.
Yeah, but you make it sound good because why I say you make it sound good? Some of them even read the rules.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's true.
You understand? Luckily for us, I must agree that since we took over the leadership of the ABCA, first thing, the attendance record of our meetings has been very good. I must say that. I'm talking about the directorship. You know, we don't have a situation like, sometime in the past we would have 5 people. Our records of, if we have a 13-man team, majority of the time we have 11, 12 people, somebody away or something. So, and in terms of team meetings, I think, to be honest with you, I've been reasonable that we have team meetings. When we call meeting with the team, they really turn out and, they give their input as study says. Somebody gonna have some ideas. I mean, you have to also remember that we are one in the tournament, and we have some rules too that we want to work with. Sometimes you got to bend because you're not playing a cricket. You understand?
Okay, just
so
I see we're getting into the administrative aspect of the operation. Before we get there, because we're going to wrap up in about 10, 12 minutes or so. Highlight quickly some of your memorable performances on the Parish League circuit.
Boy, listen, me have so much a good performance in Parish League. Right? I'm gonna tell you now. Me have so much a good Parish League performance that one time when me really look for my representation by Parish League team, Daddy said, no man, you don't make enough ones, man. Go back and make some more ones again or something. But me should get picked for the combined Parish League team. Yeah, Daddy robbed me, man. Daddy robbed me. But no, let me tell you something. No, with all honesty. In cricket, and
you get good support from Mervyn now.
No, but with all honesty. No. In cricket, and Taddy was a selector, and Taddy will tell you, pick yourself. Sometimes people want to know. I mean, how you going to pick yourself? You pick yourself by letting the selectors hear in your name every week. Every week you hear Kuma Rodney. Kumavani. And Taddy can't tell him my name. He was some wicked, so one, because I was reasonable, I was good all around. So all the thing I never like, on time I have a wicket keep. And as far as me concerned, that they shouldn't be in the cricket. Wicket keeping and goalkeeping shouldn't be in the cricket. So I have some real good. One of the challenge that I can remember, in the real days, that hard Parish League. Mahiko used to be a very competitive team against Empire. Maybe that's why we end up being so good with Mahiko.
Okay.
Real good competition there. Used to have a very good bowling team. That a guy can never remember his name. We call him Gondapa. Swing the ball. What's his right name? Can't remember his right name. Tall, clear guy, man. You have to know.
I think
Gondapa.
I think the guy talking about now. I think the guy talking about.
Right. And they used to have a guy bowl so nice, tight.
Like Powaki.
Like Powaki. And then Milton White. And they had this boy, red cap, Dali. So I remember one of the good things I can remember about my hiker boy. Wow. I got up my hiker boy and Milton bowled me and ball, let me tell you the truth, boy. Me don't know how the ball kill me, boy.
Well, the pitch wasn't good or what?
No, man, Milton used to bowl some real.
Answer the question, man.
If you just tone them, but.
The pitch was good?
Yeah, man, the pitch me good, man. So me say, what? After that ball, me say, Charles, well, here what happen, right? Me learn in everything, football and cricket. Your best form of defense, attack. Best form of defense. So me say, Milton boy, you know what I'm here to them. But me know clear high school star ball. I kind of some star ball. When me done with he and daddy, they said daddy say, boy, tomorrow, me come back home. Come back to them blood.
The ball one for batsman.
Ball one boy.
And so batsman was supposed to run the ball.
I make it 101 or something like that, whatever it was. But we had some very good times. One day special time I think was the game against Old Road. I remember Old Road had a very good team lineup of all brown. The only thing that I might find coming inside them brown or white.
Plenty brown.
So
plenty brown in the team.
Brown or open, brown or three brown, and then they might find a white in between. So brown and white. Hey, Mervyn, love that. I feel like you don't know comedy. I feel like you think a joke.
That's the brown in the team.
Plenty brown. Good team, you know. That time this boy Edson Brown he was pretty alright player, you know. Edson Brown playing against I think it was Empire at that time. And Edson Brown come forward to a ball, man, and umpire give Edson Brown out. Boy, Edson, oh boy. But before you reach the pavilion, the gloves can't come out. But all in all, I think we had some very good time. I also, as I said to you, I liked especially playing at Freetown. Well, except that for some reason, Freetown wicket always went. Nobody
Plenty
know
rainfall up there, Kuma.
No. That time they had Glenn and Hag. Two good real good fast bowlers. I also remember one good time with you might not know that, but Barnsley had a reasonably good team.
Yeah.
Tim Payne used to swing the ball, very, very nice. This boy used to play first class, does bowl for them too. I think he lives somewhere in Canada now.
My buddy Grant. Hercules.
Yeah, Hercules.
Play for Antigua, man.
Yeah, he played for Antigua. They had a reasonably good team, and they had an open batsman there. If you don't out him early, you're not gonna out him. Tall guy, you think he's a Rasta, carry dreadlock, lives somewhere in the States. No, I can't remember.
And it has a good. Even in G's.
You know.
So
I had some good fun, some good competitive cricket against Barnsley. So all in all, there's a lot of
you're talking about Melrose.
Melrose, that's the name. Melrose.
Melrose, yeah.
So a lot of good time. If I sit here, we may stay here until next week talking about Parish League.
One of the things we have, we never have enough time. We don't accept that. Kuma, quickly, I remember listening some time ago back to an interview you did, and you did articulate that your real, I think it's when you got into the presidency for us, your real love would be to coach.
Oh yes.
Are you still of that view, or you're
very, very, very much of that view? Let me tell you something. As far as I'm concerned, I become the president by accident, right? And I'll tell you this: I never campaign because I'm one of them guys that believe in live clean, make your works be seen. You see me, I say, Mervyn, live clean and let your works be seen. If you have to be like I hear another sports president have to be making a song and this and so forth to campaign for a position. If I have to do that, nah, it's obviously that I'm not doing a good job. I'm not doing anything. You know?
Agree with you.
And so, live clean and let my works be seen. If come the elections in November, which to be honest with you, I really don't know how I'm going to get out of it right now. I'm going to have to try hard because everybody doesn't say, it's still going to do a good job. But my presidential position came about by accident. Yeah, and I say accident is that what happened, 1 year, my good friend Kenneth Benjamin and a boy from Upper Bettels or something campaign hard. Get rid of Enoch and Kuma and so forth. Anyway, they got rid of us in 2010. By 2011, people coming to us and so forth. Boy, I said, boy, I really doing bad job, boy, but now the man take over this summer like he mash up and so forth. So they were going to Enoch and so forth, say, Enoch, you guys need to come back and do some work and so. So Enoch called me a day leading up to the election of 2012, and I'm going to take much longer, and said to me, listen, he had some approach from some guys that he just couldn't believe that these guys were approaching him because those were the same guys that said to get rid of him. Yeah. So I said to him, well, why you don't go ahead and go back and see what you can do? And he said to me, boy, based on the position that I'm in right now in certain little things in his life, he don't think that he will do that. So he said, why you don't go? And I said, I really don't have any interest in being the president. My real passion and so forth and love, I like to be in the coaching situation and help people and so forth. So then I got a number of phone calls and so forth from a number of persons. I said, boy. So I said, okay, you know what? I'll come to the meeting, right? I remember that there was a certain gentleman, two gentlemen on a certain show every morning. They used to call in and say, listen, if you want to become the president of cricket done in Antigua is dead. Every morning up on Jojo show. Me call the name Jojo. I used to call, say, Jojo, I say, just encourage people to bang me up so straight, man. Just make things happen. Anyway, I went to the meeting. As I said to you guys, I never campaigned. I never called Taddy and said, Taddy boy, come and vote for me. I say, if I went to the meeting, I get a nomination and a seconder, then I'll do it. Fortunately, unfortunately, when I went, I got a nomination. Nobody else, I become the president. I think I did a reasonable job to pull the team together. We were in some very, very dire situation, and we managed to pull it out in a very nice way that right now, yes, we don't have any money, but
you have plenty of money. You have plenty of money.
We managed to survive a little.
You have plenty of money. No, that's the story.
But we're trying to survive a little bit, it's more organized, And then I think the second time, when I also told the guys, I said, listen, I understand what you guys are saying, but somebody have to stand up and take the mantle. You can feel free to call me anytime, and we can just say, well, you can say what you have to say, but when the meeting comes, nobody has a one against you. And I think somebody tried to get somebody to come over and the night of the meeting, everybody could up and say, well, I'll change the people in them. So we continue to do a reasonable good job. And again, I want you to seriously understand that some of this, apart from what I would have learned from my steel band operation, and then given the job that I had and a daily job where you learn a few little things in management and supervising, I have to give a lot of credit to my good buddy Fitzroy Brand, because he taught me a lot of things. Between Fitzroy Brand and a gentleman by the name of Winston Ramsey, who used to manage Harmonites. I don't know, you probably may remember Mr. Ramsey used to just live there, just on the other side of the Methodist Church, right at the corner. He taught me something, because he used to manage Harmonize. And I used to be, one the guy that go around with him to the hotels, negotiate and so forth. That time Harmonize a big thing, you know what I mean? When you go and tell them, I want $5,000 for tonight, they just say, okay, sign it. So he taught me a lot of things. So I learned a lot of things from the operational side of things from those people, and also again, the directorship that we have at ABCA also has really stepped up and give the level of support to the ideas when they come.
Just before we wrap up,
yes, I still want to coach.
We spoke about steel band, we spoke a little football, a little cricket, but I think you do a lot of golfing too now.
Boy, listen,
before we get to the golfing summer, I want to touch before we get to the golfing summer. I don't want to get with the idea that they have no money. I don't want to tell the people the lie. I don't want to tell the people the lie.
Tell him to say, we really don't have any money.
Okay, I might come beg you something.
Well, you know, we have, if you look good, we have help.
Exactly. So I'll touch base with you.
Well, what I'm saying to you is not because we have money. What we have said.
Wait. Listen to that.
That if we make $15, $10 out of it belongs to the clubs if they need help.
Okay. But I want to say something to you, know. I want to say something, John, before we leave the story. I must give him credit. He has done such a good job. He has done such a good job of running the Cricket Association. Now they're rich. They have plenty of money. And that's Kuma's credit. That is Kuma's credit. I know what I'm talking about, John. I know the story.
Stop spreading propaganda, Daddy.
John, now we get into the golf now.
Okay. You see, very quickly with the golf.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. If I had known when a guy by then, we call him used to, I don't remember, his Edwards. That was brother, I don't remember his first.
Yeah, okay, the one working Beach Airways.
Yeah, his brother.
Yeah,
the one who worked with Beach Airways. So can't remember full name, but call
Ian.
If I had known when you used to try to invite me to golf about, well, boy, that would be
long time ago.
Long time, about 1982.
A long time ago.
If I knew, boy, I would have taken up that. Because I remember the first time, he asked me, why you being crazy, man? Me must get up, go out behind some little white ball. You think I hold me, that old man here. And then Eldine Baptist and that boy Richie Richardson tried to get me involved. I simply asked them if they're crazy. Thanks to Kemisha Anthony, who one time when she came back from university, she said, listen, if you don't come now, when I come back, nobody talk to me, nobody come. Well, me like a fool, go and play. And from the very first day the bug bit me, bite me, that was it. It cannot be unbeaten. So I'm very much into it now. How good I am not really good.
You get addicted. You get addicted.
What I can tell you, on a good day, anybody can have it.
On that note,
I want to say something about that now, guys. When you say my body Viv, that Jumbo Crab, I'm going to ask you about that now.
Me say Viv a Jumbo Crab?
I said sorry, I know you're Jumbo Crab, yes. But why did you forget beat him up? Can you say me so good?
No, Viv.
Gentlemen,
Viv
on that note,
Viv is what you call a baller. So
we do
ball, but yeah, sometimes you get a little uppercut, you know. But majority of the time, yeah, he punt up a things. Guys,
let me say good afternoon to Norman. Norman, good to have you. Merv is in the house.
Who's Norman?
Norman, a regular guy from Australia.
Oh, but you know, when Australia, man, watching this, Norman, this is the president of the Cricket Association.
Norman, you're a good man.
Yeah, he said.
Anyway, guys, listen, thank you guys.
1 second, Kuma. Bad news is saying good history lesson from Kuma. Enjoy every bit of it. And Conrad is asking, when are we going to have on my buddy Hugo? Hugo was here a couple of weeks ago now. Conrad, you probably missed the show. But definitely, Kuma, one thesis that always erupts here, we never have enough time. So
yeah, no problem.
You can see this as an open invitation that you will be back again.
And I want to thank Taddy. He did give me more than enough time, but as I said last week, I forget that I had that CWI meeting and I had to.
Can you change the captain? We're going to
oh Lord, you and Taddy. So again, guys, Taddy, thank you. Mark, yourself, thank you guys very much. Really, really, really appreciate it, you know. Just to get the opportunity to talk about Kuma coming from whence you came. Sometimes people need to know them kind of some slides. They say, Mervyn, sometimes I can blow a trumpet. Me not blowing a trumpet, I blow trombone.
Daddy?
Thank you guys.
Don't leave it.
Daddy, you're closer.
Look, man, it's great to have my buddy here, Kuma. He has to come back, you know. We have some finished business.
Forward.
Okay, he has to come forward. So, we have some finished business. Oh, there's no cost one another yet. It's all go on. You know, what's the cost?
Now, try to get a little of that money there.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You have plenty of money to give us. So we want some, so we get some improve on our student, different things. And not only that, you know, not only that. Like a pledge to him, you know, we know we're setting up good. So we want to help to develop even first class with our cameras, and when he has like his playhouse and different things, they have some important games, so we can view them live. Because I know we go YouTube live, we're going to the channel 8 live soon for now too, so we can start to bring first class cricket along with Parish League into the homes.
Well, you know, if Mark tell Ali the truth, Ali could have done that already. But Mad made a commitment to the church that the Commoners had to go to the church.
Well, so Mark will come to you. I don't tell
Anyway,
you.
gentlemen, we really have to go.
Mark Taddy, tell me one thing, and you tell me the next thing.
Thank you, Conrad.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Taddy. Call me.
Joshi says, look forward to our game of golf when we catch up next time. So
Hey, Joshi.
there you have it, Kuma.
Anytime.
So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Mark Charles, our executive producer, Taddy Arundel, our co-host and our guest for today, Leon Kuma Rodney, I'm Leroy John Baptist, asking everyone to stay safe, and we'll see you next week with another exciting edition of Talking Parish. Another edition of Talking Parish League. I'm your host, Leroy John Baptist, and we also have with us our executive producer, Mr. Mark Charles, and our co-host, Mr. Taddy Arundel. And last week we had we had a bombshell sort of show, if you want to call it that, where we had the great one, Sir Isaac Vivian Richards with us. And today we have another bombshell show for you, and this time we're going all the way east to the eastern portion of the island, and so we will get our guests in shortly. But before we get there, let's just clear a little our housekeeping matters and recognize our platinum sponsor, the Antigua Commercial Bank. 43 years and counting supporting Parish League cricket, and so we're eternally grateful to the folks there at the Antigua Commercial Bank. So all your financial